Simon Cowell, born on October 7, 1959 in Lambeth, London, is one of the most influential and recognizable figures in the global entertainment industry. Known for his sharp tongue, unapologetic honesty, and uncanny ability to spot talent, Cowell has become a cultural icon in the world of music and television. However, long before he was a household name and the mastermind behind hit shows like The X Factor and Britain's Got Talent, his path was filled with uncertainty, perseverance, and a keen sense of ambition. Simon was born into a relatively affluent family. His father, Eric Cowell, was an executive at EMI Music Publishing, and his mother, Julie Brett, was a ballet dancer and socialite. Though he had access to privilege, Simon's early years were marked by restlessness and a lack of direction. He attended several private schools, including Dover College, but often found himself at odds with authority figures and struggled with formal education. He eventually dropped out, opting instead to pursue his passions on his own terms. Simon's first steps into the entertainment world were humble. Leveraging his father's connections, he secured a mailroom job at EMI Music Publishing in the late 1970s. It wasn't glamorous, but it offered him first-hand exposure to the inner workings of the music business. He observed how contracts were made, how artists were promoted, and how decisions shaped careers. This entry-level position turned out to be a crucial training ground for the budding mogul. After gaining some experience, Cowell took a bold step. Along with a colleague, he launched his first music label, E&S Music. While the venture was short-lived and did not yield substantial commercial success, it taught him valuable lessons about the risks and complexities of the industry. Undeterred, he went on to co-found another label, Fanfare Records, in the early 1980s. There, he achieved moderate success, most notably signing singer Sinita, who had several hits in the UK. Despite these early wins, Cowell's journey was far from smooth. Fanfare eventually folded in the late 1980s due to financial troubles, leaving Simon in debt and temporarily out of the business. It was a pivotal moment. Many would have given up, but Cowell's resilience and self-belief pushed him forward. He returned to EMI and began scouting for talent as an A&R consultant. It was during this period that he began to cultivate his reputation as a shrewd and sometimes ruthless judge of musical potential. The 1990s were a rebuilding phase for Cowell. He signed a series of novelty acts and reality-based music projects that sold surprisingly well, including the Teletubbies and World Wrestling Federation entrance themes. While unconventional, these successes proved Cowell had a finger on the pulse of popular culture and a knack for marketing. He understood what the public wanted, even when the critics didn't. Simon Cowell's early career was characterized by trial, error, and determination. He didn't rise overnight. He made mistakes, took risks, and faced setbacks. Yet through it all, he refined his vision and solidified his belief in the power of entertainment to shape culture and touch lives. His journey from EMI mailroom clerk to industry power player is a testament to his grit, instincts, and unwavering confidence. These formative years laid the foundation for what was to come. A meteoric rise that would not only redefine television talent shows, but also change the global music landscape forever. Simon Cowell's ascent to the peak of his career was nothing short of phenomenal, transforming him from a behind-the-scenes record executive to one of the most recognizable faces on global television. The early 2000s marked the true turning point, as Cowell's sharp wit, brutal honesty, and keen eye for talent converged with the rising popularity of reality competition shows. These peak years not only solidified his status as a media mogul, but also reshaped the music and television industries in ways few others have. The first major milestone came in 2001 when Cowell joined the judging panel of Pop Idol in the UK. Though the show was not his original concept, his brutally honest feedback quickly became its defining feature. His blunt critiques, often laced with sarcasm, stirred controversy and grabbed headlines, but they also drew in massive audiences. Contestants like Will Young and Gareth Gates became household names, thanks in part to the drama Cowell injected into each episode. However, it was American Idol in 2002 that truly catapulted Cowell to international stardom. As one of the original judges alongside Paula Abdul and Randy Jackson, Cowell introduced his unfiltered British candor to an American audience, and they were hooked. American Idol became a cultural phenomenon, regularly drawing tens of millions of viewers and launching the careers of global stars such as Kelly Clarkson, Carrie Underwood, and Jennifer Hudson. Cowell's often savage but oddly endearing commentary became the centerpiece of the show. He was the judge people loved to hate and couldn't stop watching. During this time, Cowell also demonstrated his remarkable business acumen. In 2002, he founded Psycho Entertainment, a joint venture with Sony Music. This allowed him to sign and develop artists discovered through his shows, turning reality TV contestants into chart-topping sensations. His ability to spot marketable talent and mold them into pop culture icons proved incredibly lucrative. Building on his success, Cowell expanded the brand globally. In 2004, he created the X Factor in the UK, which would become another juggernaut in the music competition genre. Unlike Idol, the X Factor allowed groups and contestants of various age ranges, broadening the talent pool. The show introduced the world to acts like Leona Lewis, One Direction, and Little Mix, some of the most successful artists of the decade. One Direction in particular became a global phenomenon, with Cowell as their architect and mentor. By the late 2000s, Cowell had achieved a rare feat. He was both a respected music executive and a household name across continents. In 2011, he brought the X Factor to the US, aiming to replicate his UK success. Although the American version didn't achieve the same longevity, it further cemented his image as a transatlantic entertainment powerhouse. His empire wasn't limited to music. Cowell also launched Britain's Got Talent, BGT, in 2007 and America's Got Talent, AGT, shortly after. These franchises diversified his portfolio, showcasing not only singers but also dancers, magicians, comedians, and unique performers of all kinds. Acts like Susan Boyle and Paul Potts became global sensations, while AGT became NBC's top summer show. By the early 2010s, Cowell's influence was at its peak. He was credited with redefining modern television entertainment, launching or managing the careers of dozens of successful artists, and establishing multiple globally successful TV franchises. His unique blend of showmanship, ruthlessness, and genuine industry insight made him a magnetic figure in pop culture. Financially, these were also Cowell's most prosperous years. He consistently ranked on Forbes' lists of highest-paid TV personalities, with annual earnings often exceeding $90 million. His brand was synonymous with success, and his opinion carried enormous weight in the music industry. In summary, the peak years of Simon Cowell's career were marked by unmatched commercial success, cultural impact, and media dominance. From Pop Idol and An American Idol to the X Factor and the Got Talent franchises, Cowell didn't just follow trends, he created them. His rise was a masterclass in leveraging talent, controversy, and instinct into a global entertainment empire. While Simon Cowell's name is synonymous with success, influence, and sharp-tongued judgment, his career has not been without moments of crisis and considerable controversy. As with many public figures who ascend to extraordinary heights, Cowell's fame has often been accompanied by scrutiny, backlash, and professional missteps. These moments, though challenging, have ultimately contributed to the evolution of both his public persona and his understanding of fame, media, and personal responsibility. One of the most consistent sources of controversy surrounding Simon Cowell has been his acerbic style as a judge on talent shows, such as American Idol, The X Factor, and Britain's Got Talent. While many admired his brutal honesty and candor, critics often accused him of being unnecessarily harsh, even cruel. Dismissive remarks about contestants' appearances, voices, and potential frequently sparked outrage, with some labeling his behavior as bullying. Mental health advocates questioned the ethics of subjecting aspiring singers to such public humiliation, particularly when they were young or emotionally vulnerable. This criticism reached its peak during the early 2000s, with media debates on whether Cowell's truthful persona was a necessary part of the entertainment package or a harmful spectacle. Another significant controversy involved his business practices in the music industry. Cowell was accused by some artists and insiders of being exploitative, particularly through contracts issued under his Psycho label. Artists who won talent competitions often reported intense pressure, limited creative control, and long hours, raising concerns about the sustainability and fairness of their career trajectories. Groups like One Direction and Little Mix, while publicly appreciative of Cowell's role in their launches, eventually parted ways with his label, citing creative differences and a desire for more autonomy. The split with Little Mix in particular led to public speculation and behind-the-scenes reports of a strained relationship. Beyond professional controversies, Cowell has also faced personal crises, including health scares and public criticism of his lifestyle. In 2020, he suffered a severe back injury after falling off an electric bike at his home in Malibu, which led to surgery and a long recovery period. The accident brought renewed attention to his well-known obsession with youth and fitness, especially after years of plastic surgery rumors and dieting. Though Cowell typically kept such matters private, his physical transformation and injury became tabloid fodder, with critics accusing him of chasing an unrealistic image that contradicted his advice for others to be authentic. Cowell's handling of diversity and representation has also been criticized. While his shows have launched artists from diverse backgrounds, he has at times been accused of favoring certain aesthetics or styles over others. Some viewers and critics noted a pattern of promoting commercially viable contestants over more unique or culturally distinct performers, raising questions about implicit biases within talent competitions he produced. The most enduring controversy, perhaps, lies in the debate over reality television itself, of which Cowell is a principal architect. Detractors argue that shows like The X Factor and Britain's Got Talent have commodified dreams, turning personal aspirations into primetime entertainment with little regard for long-term mental health or artistic growth. Former contestants have spoken out about post-show struggles with depression, anxiety, and disillusionment, prompting calls for better aftercare and industry reform. While Cowell has addressed some of these concerns in interviews, acknowledging that the industry needs to do better, he remains a symbol of the era that blurred the lines between entertainment and exploitation. Despite the criticisms and crises, Simon Cowell has shown moments of reflection and personal growth. He has made changes in how his shows operate, introduced mental health support for contestants, and shifted toward more compassionate judging styles in recent years. These adjustments suggest that Cowell is aware of the changing cultural climate and the growing demands for ethical entertainment. In conclusion, the controversies and crises of Simon Cowell's career reveal the complexity behind his polished media image. They reflect not only the price of fame but also the evolving standards by which celebrities and producers are held accountable. For Cowell, these moments of backlash and crisis, while painful, have shaped the contours of a career built not only on talent and ambition, but also on resilience, self-reinvention, and a slow but visible learning curve. Following years of public scrutiny and personal challenges, Simon Cowell's story took a remarkable turn, a tale not just of survival, but of rebirth. After a series of controversies and career shifts that left some questioning whether his dominance in the entertainment industry was waning, Cowell found a way to reinvent himself. His comeback story is not just about returning to television or regaining fame, but about self-transformation, resilience, and the rediscovery of passion. Cowell's journey back began with a moment of introspection brought on by his 2020 electric bike accident. The near-fatal fall, which left him with a broken back, became a profound turning point. During his recovery, Cowell was forced to slow down, reflect, and reevaluate both his personal and professional priorities. The event not only reshaped his health habits, he embraced a healthier diet, lost significant weight, and began prioritizing fitness, but it also reshaped his outlook on life and work. He began to appreciate the moments with his partner Lauren Silverman and their son Eric, seeing fatherhood not as a challenge but as a source of daily inspiration and grounding. Professionally, Cowell began shifting his role from the harsh critic to the visionary mentor. While still maintaining his signature blunt honesty, he softened his on-screen demeanor, focusing more on nurturing talent than tearing it down. He returned as a judge on America's Got Talent and Britain's Got Talent, now with a more empathetic and human touch that resonated with audiences. Viewers noticed the change, not just in his physical appearance, but in his spirit. The man who once embodied sharp cynicism was now celebrated for his wisdom and compassion. Cowell's revival also involved taking a step back from the constant demand of live television and focusing more on development. He launched new ventures under his Psycho Entertainment label, explored streaming opportunities, and invested in upcoming talent across multiple platforms. Recognizing the power of social media and digital platforms, Cowell adapted his brand to meet the demands of the new media age, proving once again his ability to evolve with the times. One of the most heartening aspects of his comeback is his reconnection with music. The same industry that gave him purpose decades ago began to feel personal again. He became more hands-on with artist development, personally mentoring young acts and offering them the kind of opportunity he once fought to receive himself. This full-circle moment highlighted Cowell's commitment not just to fame, but to meaningful contributions. The rebirth of Simon Cowell is not just about overcoming injury, escaping controversy, or adjusting his image. It is about rediscovering joy in his work, building deeper relationships, and using his platform for positive influence. His journey reminds us that even those who seem impervious to failure are capable of profound transformation, and that comebacks are not just about reclaiming a spotlight, but about finding light within. In the end, Cowell didn't just return. He rose, evolved, and redefined what it means to have a second act in life. His story serves as a compelling narrative of resilience, adaptability, and personal growth, offering hope to anyone seeking to reinvent themselves after hitting rock bottom. Simon Cowell's legacy is one that transcends traditional definitions of success in the entertainment industry. More than a television personality, Cowell has reshaped the global music landscape, revolutionized the format of reality talent shows, and left an indelible mark on pop culture. His influence is vast, multidimensional, and enduring. One of Cowell's most significant contributions lies in his reinvention of the talent discovery process. With shows like Pop Idol, American Idol, The X Factor, and Britain's Got Talent, Cowell changed the way artists are introduced to the world. These platforms democratized fame, allowing ordinary people with extraordinary talent to bypass the traditional music industry gatekeepers and find a path to stardom. Artists such as One Direction, Leona Lewis, Susan Boyle, and Fifth Harmony might never have reached global audiences without the opportunities Cowell's vision provided. In doing so, he reshaped not just television entertainment, but also the music business itself. Cowell's legacy is equally defined by his unique persona, a blend of brutal honesty, sharp wit, and an unflinching belief in merit. His no-nonsense critiques became legendary, turning him into both a polarizing and iconic figure. While some saw him as harsh or arrogant, many others appreciated his authenticity in an industry often cloaked in politeness. This candor made Cowell a household name and inspired a new generation of television judges and personalities to speak more frankly, shifting the tone of talent shows around the globe. From a business perspective, Cowell's influence is monumental. Through his company Psycho Entertainment, he developed a powerful brand that not only produced some of the most successful television formats of the 21st century, but also launched recording careers for numerous acts. Psycho's partnership with Sony Music created a pipeline from television screen to global music charts, amplifying Cowell's impact far beyond the screen. Philanthropically, Simon Cowell has also contributed meaningfully to causes close to his heart, whether supporting animal rights organizations, children's hospitals, or humanitarian efforts. Cowell has quietly used his platform to champion worthy causes. He understands the power of his influence and has often leveraged it for the greater good, further cementing his reputation not just as a mogul, but as a compassionate public figure. Culturally, Cowell's reach has been nothing short of seismic. He helped redefine what it means to be a celebrity judge, influenced the aesthetics and tone of modern reality TV, and altered audience expectations of live television entertainment. His shows became global phenomena, adapted in dozens of countries, and spawned an international movement of talent competitions that continue to thrive. Moreover, Cowell's ability to stay relevant in a rapidly changing media landscape speaks volumes about his adaptability and foresight. As streaming platforms, social media, and short-form content continue to dominate, Cowell has demonstrated an openness to evolve, ensuring that his influence remains potent and contemporary. In summary, Simon Cowell's legacy is multifaceted: a visionary producer, a cultural tastemaker, a music industry kingmaker, and an unapologetically honest voice in a world of performance. His work has changed lives, discovered stars, and shaped the very fabric of global entertainment. Whether loved or criticized, his contributions are impossible to ignore, proof of a legacy that will endure long after the spotlight fades. Despite Simon Cowell's larger-than-life persona, immense success, and seemingly impenetrable confidence, his life, like any other, has not been without heartbreak. One of the deepest sorrows he has endured came with the sudden loss of his mother, Julie Brett, in 2015. Julie was not only the matriarch of the Cowell family, but also Simon's emotional anchor. Her passing marked a significant and deeply personal chapter in his life, one that brought grief, reflection, and a re-evaluation of his purpose. Julie Cowell, a former ballet dancer and socialite, had been a constant supporter of Simon throughout his career. She was often credited with encouraging his resilience during the many professional setbacks he faced early on. Her belief in him never wavered, and Simon himself frequently expressed admiration and deep affection for her. When she passed away at the age of 89 after a prolonged illness, the blow to Simon was profound. The news broke just as The X Factor was preparing for auditions, and out of respect and mourning, production was postponed. This period of mourning was not only about losing a parent, it was about losing someone who had been a guiding light and one of the few people whose approval and love he never questioned. For someone as publicly scrutinized as Simon, his mother was a quiet space of comfort and unconditional acceptance. Her absence created a void that no success, fortune, or accolade could fill. The loss also came during a transitional phase in Simon's personal life. At the time, he had recently become a father to his son, Eric. Julie's death coincided with this new chapter, intensifying both the emotional highs and lows. Simon often mentioned in interviews how he wished his mother had more time to spend with Eric, and how much she would have adored him. That bittersweet intersection of life and death, the arrival of his son and the departure of his mother, left an indelible mark on Simon's emotional world. The sorrow of losing his mother led to a noticeable change in Simon. He became more reflective and open about his vulnerabilities in public interviews. While still maintaining his role as the confident and sometimes acerbic television personality, he showed more warmth and empathy in his judgments and interactions. His relationship with fatherhood grew even deeper, and he began spending more time with his family, reassessing what truly mattered in his life. In a broader sense, this period also prompted Simon to embrace a healthier lifestyle, especially after suffering a serious back injury in 2020 from an electric bike accident. The pain of losing his mother, combined with his health scare, acted as a wake-up call, pushing him toward a slower, lot more balanced way of living, focused not only on his work but on his relationships and inner well-being. Simon Cowell's greatest sorrow, the loss of his mother, thus became a moment of profound transformation. It reminded him, and perhaps all who admired him, that even the most successful individuals carry deep personal wounds. It showed the world that behind the sharp suits, the confident smirk, and the global empire, Simon was a son, a grieving, loving son, who had to navigate the darkest shadows of loss.